Last week I came on here during the holidays and I said, if your holiday plans were canceled, it's probably because of the flu. Well, this is the highest flu surge we've had in nearly 30 years. 5,000 people have died so far from the flu, including 9 children. For last week, the week ending December 27th, the CDC reported that nearly 1 out of 10 patients nationwide, so 8.2% of patients, were admitted for flu-like illness. That's the highest logged since the CDC started tracking flu visits in 1997. Okay, let me repeat that. The highest admission of flu visits since the CDC started tracking it in 1997. Do you have listing ID? No. And because this is from the weekend of Christmas, that doesn't even include holiday illnesses. And it's still too soon to know what the impact of the holiday season is going to do on flu activity. Here's the worst thing that hospitals are seeing. Not only are people coming in with the flu, but it's being compounded with other illnesses like COVID, RSV, respiratory problems, and breathing. We're admitting patients at a higher rate than we normally do. Their oxygen levels are lower than normal, creating a potential situation which can be life-threatening unless they receive supplemental oxygen. I don't know, but the word supplemental oxygen reminds me of a time, shall we say, Trump was in office the first time, and we had a pandemic, a little panny, shall we say, a little vid. The 2025-26 flu season, which again is just getting started, follows the deadliest season for children since the CDC began tracking pediatric deaths. And an additional death just got added. So it's 289 deaths since the 2009 H1N1 pandemic. I don't know if you remember that. It was like swine flu. Yeah, since that and the worst flu on record for children, HHS under RFK in his abundant wisdom said, hey, don't get the vaccine. Why would we want to do that? And his team overhauled the entire childhood vaccination schedule. This is what the chair of the American Academy of Pediatrics Committee on Infectious Diseases had to say. To back off on a flu recommendation in the midst of a pretty severe flu year seems to me to be pretty tone deaf. Me too, Dr. Sean O'Leary. Me too. Here's a graph of flu hospitalizations by age. As you can see, both our older generation of 65 and older and our younger generation, 0 to 4 years old, are the highest hospitalization rates. Now I ask you, did you get your flu vaccine? Did you get your children vaccinated? I got my flu vaccine in October. I got my children vaccinated in September, and I have done so for the last 25 years for myself and for the last 11 years for my children. There is not 1 year that I skip. My children were 3 months premature with underdeveloped lungs, and they were at risk of RSV, and they're constantly at risk for anything respiratory related. And I will get the flu vaccine until I die. They get the COVID vaccine, I get the COVID vaccine. And the flu vaccine, a vaccine that has been widely available since 1945, has been tried and true. Yes, it has been changed slightly to go with the year's highest strain, but I trust it. Let me know what you did, and let me know if you've gotten the flu, because I did get the flu, and thank God I did not need to go to the hospital.